Imagine a league built by the people, for the people. A league dedicated to the economic development of your city. So the question becomes, how good are the 32 teams that play in the minor football league? Well, there's only one way to find out. You have to experience the MFL.
Welcome to another edition of Inside the MFL. I'm your host, Richard Myles Sr., founder, CEO, and chairman of the Minor Football League. It's a great day out there today. Today is Friday. I want to thank all the MFL Nation for tuning in twice a week. Also, I want you to understand this pandemic is real. Don't be fooled. Keep those face masks, keep those gloves on. I got one of the owners of the MFL franchise. He's laughing right now. I'm gonna get ready to bring him on. But really, I want everybody to really be considerate of your family members and stuff. Don't take no chances going out there because you see other people out there with no face masks. As someone told me that's close to me, somebody got to stay around to tell the story. We got to be able to tell the story from everybody else. But I'm excited about the MFL, and we have a lot of things going on inside the MFL. And right now, I want to bring on one of the owners of the MFL franchise, Charles Olawole. I want people to understand that what we're doing is the MFL is a laboratory of change, and I want to bring Charles Olawole on one of the owners of the MFL franchise in the Maryland Coach. So I'm excited about that. How you doing, Charles? How you doing?
No, I'm saying, so you agree that I should have won?
Of course.
Why didn't you tell me this on the phone?
This is what you called me. I wasn't even prepared. I got to hold it up.
Is today Friday?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Olawole, can you hear us, sir?
An interview, a big,
How long is this one about to be?
Can you hear us, sir? Mr. Ahluwalia, are you on, sir? Okay. We have a little difficulty with him getting his stuff together right now, but we'll bring him back. Also, I want you to understand, we're also having another owner on, Mr. Pat Freeman up there in Rochester, New York. He's the owner of the Chargers, the Rochester Chargers, which I'm excited about. And this guy, we'll be bringing him on later. But right now, let's go into the MFL. As you know, we moved a whole division because we want to make sure that we have a need for certain franchises, and we want to keep everybody geographically close. I reported that Wednesday that we moved some of the franchises in the MFL. We took the Kansas Cowboys and moved them to Oklahoma. Now they're the Oklahoma Cowboys. We moved the Rams from up in. We moved the Rams from up in the. I'm a little started a little bit, but we moved the Rams from upstate as well. They was up there. Also, we moved. Up in Colorado, the Colorado Packers. We moved them from Colorado. We moved them to Louisiana. They would be down. They would be in New Orleans. We moved the Nebraska Rams. We moved them to Texas. We moved the Cardinals from Ohio. We moved those. We moved them to Texas. So these are some of the franchises that we did move to make things more geographically close with the other franchises. And up in New Mexico, we have the Saints. So these were the franchises that was moved because the demand asked us to move there. And we were talking to a lot of people, and a lot of people was excited about it. And we want to keep the franchises close. So I really want to bring in, you know, uh, our guests on. But right now, like I say, inside the MFL, we moving the different franchises. So we want to get right now to Mr. Charles Olawole. Mr. Olawole, are you there?
Yes, yes, yeah, I'm here. How are you?
All right, always dapper as usual. You're always sharp, and you dress up really well. Yeah. So Charles is, as I earlier stated, Charles is one of the owners. We want to bring y'all owners that we have in the minor football league as well. Charles Olawale is the owner of the Maryland Colts. Okay, so we got some questions. A lot of people want to ask you. We're going to be asking you some. We also have another owner will be coming on shortly. Charles, what is your experience of having the opportunity, knowing that the MFL is the laboratory of change? What it means to you to have an opportunity to own one of these franchises?
Oh yeah, it's been first of all, I want to say thanks for having me on this program. It's always wonderful to talk with our people and get their feedback, and also to share our experiences at the MFL. So being one of the owners is a wonderful experience for me, and the idea that as people of color, we get to be part of something this monumental. We always talk about how much our people, the people of Black race, are the biggest consumers. How much we've spent on things that does not bring revenue. And we look at certain things as being too big for us to do. And the MFL is just reminding us that the sky is not even our limit. There's so many things we can do. And so as an owner, it's such a privilege to be able to be part of a wonderful organization and to be able to to join the laboratory of change and do beautiful things as far as mentoring, as far as providing sports, entertainment. The mantra and the motto is beyond the playing field, to be able to add to the economic development of my community, and to be able to hire people and do things that one can only think or dream of. And with the MFL, we always talk about how the football game, the NFL, is comprises of 85% African Americans, and we don't have any owners and we don't have any GMs, and to be able to be in a position of authority, with the MFL is such a wonderful situation. And I'm also using this opportunity to call on some of our people to come on board here and let us make this what it is. To come and join the winning team, and later in the show we're going to be talking about different forms of financing and different ways to gain ownership and different ways to invest, and to how to approach vendors, how to approach sponsors, and how to put your file together, your board, and all this stuff. So it's such a wonderful time, and I'm very glad. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, Charles, give everybody a little bit background on you,
Okay.
and a little bit of your background.
Yeah.
Then we'll talk about the fact that the MFL is taking 16 franchises to Africa. We're excited about that. But give the MFL Nation a little bit of your background.
Okay. Yeah. My background is IT. I own a company called Graffiti Consulting. Before I joined the MFL, I was focused on the IT field. And I've seen, and just like some of the conversation that we've had, we've been able, God has, been very gracious to me to be able to do a lot of different projects, initiatives, and inventions with working for the government clients. I have a lot of government clients with supporting the IRS, the Department of Homeland Security, Census, NASA, NOAA, and all those government initiatives. And while we're doing that, we've done so many designs and implementations that, like I was telling you, there was a time that we did what a wonderful, like billions of dollars in project, and we designed it, we implemented it, it was rolled out. But on the day of cutting of the ribbons, we are never seen anywhere. It's always the power that be that, and they will write my speech, my word. And they will say it out. That this is why we did it. This is why we're doing that. This is why we're doing that. And where we can't even get into the room sometimes, so it's just, so it gets like that, at some point, but what the MFL is providing is a seat at the table, that we can, actually determine our own destiny. We can hire our people, we can train them, we can, and, support them, watch them grow. So my background is IT, network design, systems analysis, configuration management, change control, proactive monitoring, support of multiple government enterprise. But right now, my focus is on sports, the MFL, and how do we handle, this wealth that the Lord is bringing to the Black community,
Absolutely. And when you think about a very successful individual like yourself, you come over from Africa, you started a great business over here.
Yes.
You're doing very well.
Thank
you. We happened to talk, and you seen another business opportunity,
Yes.
and you came right aboard because a successful business person like yourself,
Yes.
you understand that you understand generational wealth,
Definitely.
opportunity to pass it down to our kids' kids.
Legacy, yes.
And legacy, absolutely. And we'll talk about the when you talk about that, you talk about the laboratory of change.
Yes.
And these are the type of things that we've been avoided a while ago. And we was deterred from that, not given an equal chance at the table. And also, I'm also excited about in working with you thus far.
Yes.
I just want to say it's been a pleasure working with you, learning a lot from you, because you smart enough to understand business, and you've seen an opportunity like this come become available,
Yep.
and you jump right on it.
Sure.
Also, I just want to say the fact that we are going to Africa. I know you're excited about that.
Yes,
We've been working on for a while, for a year now. We've been working on that. Also, I'm going to bring on another owner. I want to bring on Pat Freeman. Pat is the owner of the Rochester Chargers. How you doing there today, Mr. Pat?
I'm good. I'm good. Excuse me for being late. I didn't hit a button down at the bottom. That's the problem. But I'm always excited to be in the same vicinity of one of the finest men I've ever met, Richard Myles Sr. And it's always a pleasure to be back with Charles Olawole. How you doing, brother?
Now, before y'all talk about who's gonna beat each other, I'm gonna keep y'all apart for a minute now. Also, Charles, tell the MFL Nation a little bit about your background and how we came about you owning this. But we want to give them a little synopsis of your background.
Yes. Okay. So, like I said earlier, I own a.
No, excuse me. I want Pat to give his background. Pat.
Well, my background is in broadcasting. I was a sports director at Mix 1080 WFO Radio for 25 years. I covered the NFL and the Buffalo Bills for 26 years. And I met an extraordinary gentleman in Atlanta who I kept, he's just on his phone all the time. I said, who is this guy? Well-dressed, looked like a businessman. And I said, man, he just looks respectable. So I finally got up the nerve to ask him, what do you do? And from then, he handed me his card and we started laughing. And he said that, y'all sleeping on me. And ever since then, we've been talking ever since. And before you know it, I came down to Washington and visited with him for the whole day. And he taught me a lot about the minor football league and its beginnings. And from there, he offered me a position as general manager. And since becoming a general manager, I try to do my best work every day. And it looks like we are moving into the ownership position with the help of Richard Myles Sr. and the Minor Football League. So I am totally honored to be in your presence, and let's do some great things. I am excited. I love to work, and I'm all about the Minor Football League. That is where my attention is, and we're about to do some great things, not only in U.S., but now in Africa. Becoming an international force in sports and community development all over the world. And this is a great time to be a person of color on this planet, an African. And people are beginning to see that Africa is a major force worldwide. And the minor football league is going to play a tremendous role in that. And people are going to see for themselves how advanced, how independent that Africa can be without having the hands of invaders in that continent. And now that they can utilize their own mineral resources, begin producing their own sports with the minor football league and other avenues, this is going to be a great, great thing. And I think the world is about to change. And it all started in 1993 with the vision of Richard Myles Sr. He is the author of the Laboratory of Change, and he's brought us all on to help bring about this vision. And I'm excited. Rochester's excited. You see what I do every day is MFL. And this is what I do. I'm excited about every team in the league, and I will help anybody that is about the MFL, because that's what I'm about 24/7.
And Pat, he don't give himself the credit that he deserves. I mean, you're not going to outwork Pat. I just want everybody to know that. MFL Nation, I want you to know you're not going to outwork Pat. Also, I want to take a few minutes and understand we did bring another GM aboard for the South Carolina Outlaws. We're excited about that, and we got a couple of other GMs we're bringing in. So, but Pat, I want Pat to understand, Pat is the one that brought the MFL to Rochester, New York. And what I mean by that, when me and Pat talked, and this guy was so knowledgeable and he know the game. And I'm like, I can learn a lot from him because he's in media and stuff. And he's very sincere. I mean, we've been talking ever since, almost similar to Charles Olawole when we met. And I think we bring good people on. And it just goes to show you, these are men of color on these franchises. I mean, what does it feel like? I'm going to go with you first, Charles, and then you. What does it mean, and what does it mean to you to own a professional franchise?
Oh yeah, it's such an exciting thing, and a very exciting time that we're living in. Just like Pat has said so eloquently, the idea that we can sit at the board table and see one another the same color, and we can see, but those are the opportunities and privileges that nobody had in other leagues. And so the idea that we can actually write our own history, we can impact our own generations, and then leave a legacy for the people coming behind. I don't think any opportunity like this will ever come, in a very long time, and we've never had it this good. So I'm very, very excited, and it just shows that people of color can actually do something for themselves. We don't need end out. We don't need the help. There's this conception that if the why does not help us, we can't do anything. We can actually do, and thanks to your leadership, there's a path is already created already, so we have to go through it, So I'm very excited. Thank you very much.
And these are businessmen. These men excel in other businesses other than professional football. And this is something that we've been denied for years and years. If you look at entertainment, who do all the entertainment? Black people. Same game, but we own nothing. NFL is 70% African Americans, but you have no owners and stuff. And that's not to beat up, and we're not going to beat up the NFL. We're not going to do that. But we want to know you're not going to get an opportunity to own anything there. It wasn't designed for that. So I get so hurt when I hear people keep talking about, well, they won't give us this and that. You can't tell somebody what to do with their league. Especially when they have owners. These owners not going to liquidate their ownership to give it to somebody of color. So now you have to be the laboratory of change, what the NFL is. You're looking at two owners, and we'll be bringing on different owners all the time. These people own these franchises. This is not a farce. This is not a joke. But when you look at it, the MFL is a laboratory of change. I always had a saying, documentation beats conversation. We're still here. We get ready to celebrate 25 years of the minor football league. 25 years. And a lot of people didn't know we exist, but that's okay. That's okay. But the norm is gone. And I want to get to Pat. What does it mean, Pat? Someone of your experience and a successful person like yourself, what does it mean to own a professional franchise? What does it mean for Rochester?
is key because it's never happened before.
No.
There are no people of color that own American football teams. It's not designed for you to be an owner. Mr. Myles and the executive board have put a path together for ownership, not only in the United States, but most importantly on the continent of Africa, the richest continent on the planet. This is revolutionary. And I know people are scared of what's coming down the pipe because this is revolutionary. When you're talking about a professional American football conference on the continent of Africa, the wealthiest continent on the planet. It has all self-sustaining resources. They don't need anything from anybody.
No.
And everything is there. And this is revolutionary. And I think people need to start experiencing the minor football league. And we're going to make sure that they experience the minor football league and experience Richard Myles Sr. Just like David Garnett, the senior vice president, said a few years ago, you have got to experience Richard Myles Sr. I had that pleasure of experiencing him, and my life has changed ever since. And that's not a joke. I covered the NFL for 26 years. They act like I was doing them a favor. I don't want to beat up on them, but there was no pathway to anything other than covering them.
Oh, wow.
But I met him just a few months ago. I became a general manager, which was a dream. And now I'm about to become the owner of a professional football team, which is a dream come true for me. And it's going to do work, not only for me, but the communities and the municipalities in which we serve. Because young men, young women of color are going to see Black owners like Charles Olawole and Pat Freeman and Richard Myles Sr. Not only is he the commissioner, he's the founder, he's the CEO, he is the man with the vision. And that inspires our people coming behind us. That you have something that we are going to pass down, and that's generational wealth. And that is something that puts the fear of God in those that have tried to oppress us over the centuries.
And we have to understand, we have to own stuff. You can't tell people what to do. No matter how wrong people are, you can't tell them what to do with something belongs to them. And all I'm saying is for former players and current players, come look at this thing. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to play football forever, and it's time for you to leave. It's not about us anymore. It's about the generations behind us. We're standing on people's shoulders that made it possible for us to be doing what we're doing. Never in history, this will never happen again. We have an opportunity to own something and pass it down. It hurts me to my heart when I see former players and stuff. They're complaining, well, we ain't got this stuff. You have an opportunity to own a professional franchise. Why we understand they are gatekeepers amongst us. And I tell people all the time, because you're my complexion, that don't make you my kind.
No.
So we're not going to be misled by that, because we understand, there are gatekeepers there. It's designed to keep people away from this. But I want everybody to understand that these franchises are going. These franchises are selling. And the purpose of us having these owners on so people can see who they are. These are not fictitious people. These are credible people that own these franchise business people. And we want that for everybody. The laboratory of change, we want women owners as well. We want the playing field to be level, period. And I want people to understand, look where these franchises at. Look where we are, what we've been doing. I mean, I had people call all the time and they say, wow, this is great. Is this new? No, it's new to you. This is not new. It's because, I tell people all the time, and I hate to make light of a bad situation. Sometimes if you don't learn about history, history will repeat itself. Sometimes God tell people, hey, let's take a look at some things. The norm is gone. Now everybody has these big jobs paying all this money, no longer there. These jobs are going to be non-existent. Not only that, we want these players to understand entrepreneurship, owning something, playing and you're done. We want everybody to understand you can own. We're going to give you an opportunity to be a GM. You give you an opportunity to be a head coach. We want quality people to coach. We're not grabbing people off the street and say, come on. No, that wouldn't make sense. You know, we want to prepare these guys for beyond the field.
Yes.
You know, and that's what's important. And I just want people to understand, we ain't begging nobody for nothing. The MFL been around for 25 years. The only person been around longer than us is the NFL. And they got 75 years on us. But give us some time. Give us some time. All I'm saying to, and by no means don't look at us and thinking, this is not the Negro Leagues. This is the MFL, the Minor Football League.
Yep.
And I'm tired of people always getting offended when people start talking about something for African Americans or people of color. We're talking about people of color, not just black. So don't get mad when you hear somebody trying to look out for us. Other nationalities look out for themselves. So why we always have to take the high road and say, don't say this, don't say that. I'm going to say what I want, because now this is something that I created. This is something I founded and put together. And I want to give our guys an opportunity to coach. We don't want people to get a GM job because their father played in the league or something.
Yes.
Come on, man. You know, you give the most qualified people an opportunity. Then you look at things, what's going on now. You guys, you know, I'm only reaching out to you because I love people of color. Yep. And you can't keep sitting back waiting for somebody to give you something. That's not life. That's not life. You got to work for it. And we're not asking for nobody to give us anything. We don't want you to give us anything. All I'm saying, people, you don't have to like me. Just respect what I'm doing. I'm going to respect what you're doing. And I want people of color to stop thinking, if it ain't white, it ain't right. We got to stop that. We got to stop that. We got to understand we can do it. We've been doing it all our lives. And right now, we didn't got comfortable. We got complacent because you were getting job and you thought they're going to be there all the time. Now that they're gone, you got 20 million people going for unemployment. 20 million. If you can't see the handwriting on the wall, you have to own something. And I'm crying out, and I'm saying it because I'm passionate about this. We got to understand that you have an opportunity here. That's all we're saying to you. We can do everything that they're doing. Thank God for social media now. You really don't need the TV network no more. You don't need it anymore. The change is here. And like I say, if you don't learn about history, history will repeat itself. You know, Fritz Pollard did something years and years ago, but when he started doing it, they hurry up and broke it down. They broke it down because then they didn't support him. People of color didn't support him. And you know we should have. I was not around then. I ain't come along to 55. I'm telling my age. But, you know, now all we're doing is reinforce what he did. And the ideas are different. We more advanced. We have more, these millennials, they are sharp. They are smart. And you have people like Pat. You have people, excuse me, like Pat Freeman. You got someone from over in Africa, very successful businessman, came over here, and his story, he wanted to tell y'all it was cut. But look at him now. Look at him now. And I believe in things happen for a reason. It's only God that all of us met, and the people that we have in this organization. We got some great people in this organization. Always say, just take a look at what we're doing. We ain't asking nobody for no money. We ain't begging nobody for nothing. Nothing. All we want to do is get people to understand we are the laboratory of change. And the thing that we're doing is tremendous. Yes, I said we're going to Africa. Yes, they're excited about us coming. And the only reason we're not there right now is because of this pandemic right here, this COVID-19. And I'll tell you something, we was one of the leagues that say we're not going to go. We was one of the leagues that said we're not going to go. And everybody else still trying to go. We know better. We're not going to do it. It's not worth people's lives. It's not worth individuals like y'all, Charles, y'all GM, y'all own Pat, and our staff and people work players. No, players call us all the time. And we tell them, no, we'll let you know. We're going by what the CDC said. That's what we're going by. Because first of all, I want to know three things. Do you know what this virus is? Do you have a cure for it? And if you had it, can you catch it again? Until these questions asked, the MFL is not going to move in terms of getting ready for football season. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. But right now, we have a lot of work to do. We are still interviewing people. We are still talking to people. We still get. I can't say enough about Pat and Charles and other individuals with the organization. That's why we come on. We come on twice a week.
Yes.
You know, on Wednesdays at 5 to 6, and Fridays from 5 to 6, and Saturday mornings on DC Radio. You know, and I can't say enough about our mayor here. It's just kudos to her because she did not rush to open this up, and she opened it up. She's taking her time, and as you see right now, it's spiking. You can't do nothing. You can only do what God allowed you to do.
Oh,
and you can try to rush the thing if you want to. You're going to see a lot of people going to be in trouble. So getting back to y'all, gentlemen, you know, the significance of the MFL, the MFL, you know, we always laugh because everybody's excited about the NFL, and they say, the NFL. And I ask them, do you really know what that stands for? And they say, yeah, the National Football League. No, it stands for not for long. That's what it means, not for long. And you see these guys out here, and they wonder what happened. But the MFL is the laboratory of change. We are the norm is gone. The MFL, don't just look at the minor football league. Think of money for life. If you own it. Think about it, money for life. If you own one, because now you're doing just like the owners doing in the National Football League. You pass it down to your generations. And believe me, if people think we're doing a good job, no, we only begin because we know what's coming behind us going to do even more of an extraordinary job of what we're doing. So getting back to you, Charles, I mean, the census of it. Of course, we going over to Africa. I'll let you mention some of the countries we're going to, and then we'll go to Pat.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes. So we are very excited that the MFL is taking the American football to Africa. So we had this agreement, the partnership with the African Union Mission. So the idea of this effort is to ensure collaboration between the Africans in Africa and the Africans Americans that are here. So, and now when we now look at that, the MFL, the African Union Mission was very, very particular about that. They wanted to have something to do between those two, groups, and the MFL, responded. So now we're going to have 16 teams in Africa, and we're already, we have 55 African nations, and each of them want to have a team. So
we know we can't do that.
We can't put teams in every country. So we have two options. It's either to put all the countries in a hat and pick it one by one, or to just have a real standard strategy. And what we did was to have a good strategy that we can follow. What we did is that some countries are bigger. The bigger countries will own a team. Nigeria, South Africa, Egypt, Cameroon, Ghana, although they will own a team. But the smaller countries in a particular region will come together and they will own a team together. Madagascar, Mauritius, they're going to come together in that region, own a team. Senegal, Gambia, all those guys will come together. So we grouped it that way. And some countries that will not still have a team, what we did was that we have a program called the exchange programs, whereby they can come, and we can draft a player from any of those countries, those Olympic players, those people are very, agile and fast and good. We can still bring them here, So, and apart from that, we have so many plans for them. We talk about right now. There's a lot of noise over there about the coming of the MFL, and we're going to be doing seminars, workshop, clinics, exhibition matches. We're planning to bring a lot of the former players, ex Hall of Famers to come to Africa and do exhibition matches. We want them to see and promote the game brightly. And apart from the entertainment and sport part of it, being the laboratory of change, we have a lot of good plans for the continent of Africa in terms of mentoring, training, showing them different ways of investment, business opportunities, allowing them to engage with us on different forums. We're going to be doing seminars or all these workshops whereby people can learn on how to invest, how they can be a sport or team owner, how they can be, invest in the merchandises, how they can invest in the dancers, dance team, and all this stuff. You can do anything, And the sport is a big business. And the gone are those days where we just watch. Now you can watch, enjoy the game, also invest and make money. And in buying a team, we've already put together some, ways for them to get funding. We're going to show them how to do crowdfunding, how to do, different avenues. There are packages that we can put together, that walk you through, getting the team. So there's no reason for anybody to panic or to feel like it's too big of a venture. Right now, we have the government stakeholders who are part of what we're doing, and they want to be on the board. They want to we have a system in place that is very sustainable. We have all the government people, private investors in each countries, because what we want to do is to let those teams be owned by the locals in those countries. We want the factory, for the apparatus to be owned by them. We want those investments. We want them to own it and be able to make money. We are not taking anything away from Africa, and we're actually coming to develop our people. It is time. The Africa is the frontier right now, and we have seen how the US, the Europe, the China has failed. Now it's time for Africa, and the MFL is going over there, to actually show them, what we can do as a people. So we are very excited. We are very happy. It's such a good time to be a person of color in this time. Thank you.
And when you think about that, before I get to Pat Freeman, the owner of the Rochester Chargers.
Yes, sir.
When we talk about economic development, man, we have our own apparel. That stuff, it can be made there. Yeah. Think about that.
Yes.
It can be made there.
Yes.
Think about that. You're talking about, I always say, people lie, Pat, numbers don't. Numbers don't lie. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I tell people all the time that, sports is a universal type of game. And I have to point this out, Pat. And as you know, Charles, did you see how many Africans was taken in the first round of the NFL draft?
Yeah.
Now you're talking about
Yes.
these guys don't really have to come over here to go to school when you have an MFL franchises over there.
Yeah.
You stay home. Now you play at home.
Yes.
Now you can play home and you can get that same shot that everybody else get because you have a franchise there. And what I'm even more excited about will be the first World Bowl ever.
Yes.
First World Bowl where you have the Americans, MFL America, play that National Minor Football League over in Africa. So, Charles, I got to go to you, Charles.
Yeah.
Give us your input, Charles. What is the impact of all this, Charles? I mean, Pat.
Pat, okay.
Well, I think it's huge, and my plans are to see Brother Olawole over at the World Bowl. Let's get it on and let's do it in the spirit of the MFL.
Yes,
and I just can't wait for this to happen. I think this is bigger than a lot of people really realize, and this is a great thing for the U.S. teams to play the African Conference champion for the World Bowl. I think is beyond historic.
Yes,
this is going to be a great thing, and I'm looking forward to coming over there. And Brother Charles, we're going to shake hands and get it on.
Yeah. Only one of y'all can come from this side. Y'all over here. We gonna make sure Mr. Olawole don't try to buy another franchise. That's not what we gonna do here. But
I will have to whoop him on the U.S. It's gonna happen.
But Pat, and we generally, I want to bring owners on sometime, and I did not bring our money guru here. As y'all know, we generally always have Robbie Gatewood here. The significance of ownership, and Pat, you got so many letters of support from up there, from all the government officials and stuff. I mean, what's the census up there? I mean, you just hit this thing running, and a lot of people think that this is new. They forget until they go down and read the history on us. We've been around for 25 years.
Yes.
Right.
So
1993.
do that really shock them or what?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the political people here that I've talked to were shocked. And this is the first franchise in New York State, in the state of New York.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of the people, we had a meeting with the city of Rochester, and they're going to learn very quickly that the MFL is beyond what their first thoughts were. And they're going to find out that we're here to make a huge difference, not only on the field, but in the communities in which we are located in, and the business that we are going to attract to each municipality. We're going to do some great things. We're going to bring on some great people to work with us. I'm in the process of doing that now. I try to
you got some great people
introduce people each and every day, and we try to bring the best people to the table, because I believe in the example that Richard Myles Sr. has set for all of us. He's put together people like yourself, Charles, and the executive board. That it's impressive. When I show that to people, they're like, why haven't I known about this? Well, you just got to look, and it's here. And now it's time to experience. There's no better time than right now to experience the MFL, and we're going to make a big difference. Not only here in this country and our municipalities, but over in Africa and around the world.
Yes.
And that when you think about this, that things happen for a reason, gentlemen.
Yes.
And this COVID, it gave people an opportunity to take a look at the MFL.
Yep.
Now, because of all these different things going on, you don't have time to sit down and really do no research on the MFL. But now that you're home now and you're looking for something to do, to read, you find all of a sudden you find this. And you say, wow, I didn't know about this.
Yes.
Now, the great thing about it, we're talking about jobs. We talking about intern positions. And what's more importantly, it's not, I tell people, it's not that you're not good enough to play in the NFL. It's not enough room. There's only 32 teams there.
Yeah.
And those are not the best players in the country.
No.
I don't care what nobody say.
No.
And why I say that, because you can't see all the players in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And your opinion of a player might not necessarily be my opinion of a player. So it gives these young men an opportunity to stay home where they're still relevant. You get a chance to play. Most of them played in college. They played away from home for 4 or 5 years. Parents couldn't afford to get there to see them play. Now, imagine playing at home. Imagine that, playing at home, where you're still relevant. Okay, I'm managing an opportunity for businesses to get an opportunity for us to help them with economic development. You're talking about jobs, hotels, people coming. We got to stay in the hotel, don't we? People coming, they got to stay in the hotel, right? You think about all these things that we bring, the impact on businesses as well. Think about that. These are the types of things that the MFL brings. Just like when any sports venture, once you sports, and one thing people love sports. Definitely. And let me give you another point, very important. It's affordable entertainment.
Oh yeah.
See, this is affordable entertainment. This ain't you go to NFL game, you better go to the bank first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just you, and if you happen to take your wife.
Yes.
But what about the 2 kids at home?
Yeah.
Think about the whole family can come.
Yeah.
Because that's what the MFL do. We want you to experience the MFL.
Sure.
You're gonna see great guys. These are great players that played in these Division I schools and stuff. Give guys an opportunity, might not play in Division I school, but good enough to make the team. You're thinking about apparel where you can support your home team or support any of the teams in the MFL. Think about this. You could go there, you can enjoy a nice family outing on a Saturday night in the summertime. Think about it. We're not competing with nobody. When we're playing, there's no boys club, no high school, no college, no NFL. And why I point this out, because I want people to understand that this is the last time that people of color get an opportunity to own something that we've been carrying on our backs for years.
Yeah.
For years. We do all the we play the game, we do the dancing, we do the rapping, we do the singing, we do all of these things, and we do not own any of it. Somebody owned a contract on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And 9 times out of 10, when most of them leave, they broke. I'm saying to former players and players, take a look at this. Take a look at what we're doing. Take a look at it. Take a look. And I would be remiss if I did not mention what's going on. I'm gonna get you guys' opinion of this and stuff. You know, I know you, Pat. I mean, all these companies that for years they've been making money off of laughing at black people, the Aunt Jemimas and stuff. Pat, and I know you've been very diligent and very aggressive talking to these companies, Pat.
Oh yeah, these companies, in my eyesight, owe reparations to people of color all over the world. They have put forth negative images, and now there is a generational exchange, and we are owed a great debt that you cannot put a number on the damage that they have done to generations of innocent people of color, especially African people, period. African people are owed a debt by this world, and the scourge of white supremacy has to be wiped from the face of the earth. It has done damage and evil that is unmeasurable.
Oh, wow.
And that is what this movement is about. That's what's fueling our young people. And they're not going to quit. They've been marching every day. And there's a George Floyd is a modern version of Emmett Till, and another modern version of the enslaved Africans that were stolen from the shores of Africa. Wow. This is a debt that all of these companies, from Mars, from PepsiCo, you can name them down the line. You can name each and every one of them. They have affiliations with the enslavement of African people, not only here in this country, but around the world. And the debt that is owed is repatriation. It is not a loan. Don't give me a loan. Give us repatriation for the damage that you have done to innocent women and innocent children and men all over the world of African descent. It is a crime that is immeasurable. And I don't back my tongue. I get it from Richard Myles Sr.
Absolutely. and we don't want to, because we don't have to. And I just want to say, and I just want people to listen to what we're saying. You know, America never kept their promise. And don't think because now all of this going on that she will. And I ask people of color, think about it. We are the biggest consumers in America. And we have nothing to show for it. $1 trillion come through our hands in a year. We support everything else but us. When are we going to wake up? When are we going to wake up? And before I go to you, Charles, I just want people to understand, it's just the land. Is America really what she says she is? Are you really the home of the Constitution? Or are you the home of the Constitution? You know what I mean? Because when the more you look at it, it seems like this is the home of the Constitution, not the Constitution. And I want people to understand. And I have two kids that fought in the war. You know, 2 decorated young. My father fought in the war. But it ain't about that. When do we get tired of being sick and tired? Why do we always have to take the high road? America never kept her promise, and she won't now. But I love about these millennials, they're keeping the pressure on, because I'm telling you, she'll say that she'll give you 10 steps forward, she'll take 5 of them back. So America never kept her word. She never kept her word. So don't think for now that she will. That's why I'm trying to, I'm reaching out to people, African, all people, this is our opportunity for y'all. This is an opportunity for us to own something, because I'm going to tell you, she will not keep her word. I'm telling you, she will not keep her word. And I'm old enough, and I've been through the 68 ride and the march and stuff. I was a young man then. And like I said, you don't learn about history, it will repeat itself. This ain't nothing but history repeating itself.
Yeah.
Right.
I was in elementary then. I'm getting ready to turn 65. And I'm seeing the same thing. What we're asking for. We're not asking to give us anything. We don't want you to give us anything. Mm-hmm. And I say that, and I don't care if it hurts some people's feelings or not, because if you give it to us, we're going to give it right back to you. We're going to do it. We're going to give it right back. We won't have anything for our kids because we're going to give it right back. The things that we think, and we have Black people of color, we got to stop defining who we are by materialistic stuff. Mm-hmm. Come on. I know people like to have nice things, but come on now. It's all about the kids behind us. And I know I want to let you. I want to hear your thoughts on this, Charles, as well.
Yes, yeah. I think everything you have said, both of you, has been so very much on point. We've been blinded for a very long time. We've been deceived for a very long time, and that is why what the MFL is doing is so necessary. Number one, to teach even as kids. That is why I'm so excited about what we're doing in Africa and the alliance and the partnership that we have with the collegiate sports. So, because what we're doing is that, with the African initiative, we have this agreement with the sport, with the colleges. Because what they're trying to do in Africa is to wake up the sports leagues in the colleges, because it's dead right now. So the group, led by Leslie, the gentleman that you interviewed not too long ago. So, we are one of the main sponsors of that effort. So we're going to be talking in those colleges, doing symposiums, lecturing them, letting them know that it's okay to aspire, to own something as big as a team in a league, to be part of a league, to know you can invest, you can come together as a group. If you think you don't have the money, look for people, come together. What do you have? Let's start from there, and then the idea they can do that. All we need to do is we need to educate our people. We need to open their minds to the possibilities. We need to encourage them, because our people are so quick to give up. They are quick to get a 9-to-5 job and just be, okay with that and get a paycheck, and that's all. And they will go and watch the game. They go and play the game. They will do, but they won't think of anything more. So we need to think beyond that now. And we have seen what is going on with this, demonstration on Black Lives Matters issues and other stuff. We saw how certain people think about us. So if we don't invest in ourselves, educate ourselves, encourage ourselves, build ourselves up, nobody's going to do it. It's a dream that will never come to pass. So it is time now for people of color to come together, just, invest in their home, invest in their, let us encourage one another. Let us keep our money in-house. People have been doing it for years. That's why you have all the Jews and the Chinese, and you see them prospering, and because they invest in themselves. We need to start thinking that way. We need to start thinking that we too can do the same thing they are doing. We don't have to be so quick to buy the latest jewelry and cars and all this stuff. That does not, you cannot leave that to your children, to generation. That does not bring any income.
Right.
You do real investment, and that you can leave a legacy, to your generations, and you can now. That is the only way we're going to make it. If we continue to do the same thing, there's a saying that it's only a crazy man that does the same thing every day and expect different results. You do the same thing every day, you're going to get the same result. And we just need to encourage one another and know that, just like a wise man said, the biggest room in this world is the room for improvement. Let's know we have ways we need to improve on. Let's acknowledge that, appreciate that, and just continue to move forward. I think the future is very bright, and I'm very excited and happy. Thank you.
Two famous coaches said something that I always resonate with me all the time. One of them was Vince Lombardi, and he said, "He who pays the price win championships." Okay. You understand what I just said? He who pays the price. Because if you think something's gonna fall out the sky, ain't nothing coming but rain and snow.
Yes. Yeah.
A second one said, he was George Allen. He said, "The future is now." I'll take the job, but the future has to be now.
Mm.
I'm not worried about draft choices I got in the future.
Right.
We got to win now.
Yes.
I'm going to trade all of that for some veteran guys now because the future is now.
Yes.
Like you say, he don't have a lot of time.
Mm.
So the future is now. And
Yes,
all
sir.
I'm saying to people of color, the future is now. Our cosmic shake, the cosmic been shaken for this to happen. And do not take this lightly. And I want people of color to understand that. Don't take this lightly because this will never happen again.
No.
And we'll wonder what happened when
No.
we had the opportunity. And like I say, we have to stop taking the high road.
Yeah.
Pat, I had several young men call the league office talking about when you're gonna hit the combine. But I say, that GM and owner up there will tell you that. They so excited, man. Pat, how can they get in contact with you, Pat?
They can reach me on our Facebook page, which is it's at Rochester Chargers MFL. My number is on there. You can reach me 24/7. This is what I do. I do the minor football league. This is what I'm dedicated to doing and making my franchise the best franchise in the world. That is my primary goal. You're not gonna outwork me. It's not gonna
Absolutely. I'll give you
I love telling you all the owners.
I like that.
Hey, Charles, I didn't use Charles.
All right. Yeah, I think I want to agree with him that his franchise is the best in the world, next to mine. Or next to the African.
All right, I like that. I like the competition. This is great competition.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I think a gentleman 25 years ago when I started the first minor league team, the Washington Chiefs, and everybody said, who is this? You starting another semi-pro team? I said, I don't know what that is. No such thing as semi-pro. Either you're pro or you're not. I was just an ignorant term people use to justify saying football. I said, but give me some time. You'll hear from us. You know what I mean? Also, I want people to understand that these are extraordinary individuals that I'm talking to, and we will bring other owners on because I want people to see other people. And people say this, and it's not to diminish other minorities and stuff, but when people see this, how excited they get, Pat. When they see this board and everything, it just make you just, Charles. When they see it, it's just like
definitely.
Because all our kids see on TV is those people, sitting in front. We always get the worker bees, but it's not now.
Yes.
The future is now.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that to these owners here.
Yes.
I'm just talking to people in general. We trying to give this message out. The future is now.
Yes.
And you have to pay the price because I'm telling you, the norm is gone.
Yeah.
When you was happy with them high paying positions now, they're gone. Now what? Now you don't know what to do. You got money, you don't know what you want to do with it, but I'm telling you what, when you spend it, it's gonna go.
Yeah.
But you have something that, instead of wasting all that money going to the casinos and stuff, you ain't got a chance. Instead of these pyramid schemes. But one thing I can say about the MFL, we're never taking anything from anybody. And when you look at it, you got to understand, documentation be conversation.
Yes,
it's something that I always said, people can lie, numbers don't.
Don't lie,
Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. And that's what I'm so excited about what I'm doing because, we're standing on people's shoulders.
Yes.
I walked with giants when I was young, had the opportunity to play with and against some great guys that went to the league and all that. I'm this, people talk about league. I had that opportunity, thanks for it, but I'm about MFL. I ain't think about it's not what I used to do. Is what we're doing now, because we'll be defined by what we did, what we do now.
Absolutely.
We won't be defined about what we used to do or what you did. And most of the time, we want to forget some of the stuff. I had people that ask me a lot of questions and stuff, and I say, everybody know the glory behind every story, but they don't know the story behind it.
Yes.
It's the story. and we tell them the story, because one day people are going to say, I remember the MFL when they were talking.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Now look at that. It might not just be us same people. It'll be our kids' kids
Yes.
or something. And we conveying the same message.
Yes.
The MFL is here.
Yep.
We're not going nowhere.
No.
And I tell people all the time, if God for you, everybody can be against you. It don't make no
Yes.
difference.
Yes.
And I don't want nobody, by no means that I do this by myself.
Yeah.
Because I had great people like yourself, and I tell
Yes.
people all the time, I'm like a puzzle. I collect the pieces as I go. And if they fit, I'll take them. If not, I'll throw it back out.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
so I just want to say, I appreciate y'all for being
Yes.
on, gentlemen.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to work with y'all.
Thank you.
You give me, everybody say I got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
You guys give me even more energy all the time,
Yes.
being around people
Yes.
of your caliber and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just want to say to everybody, the
Yeah.
MFL is here.
Yes.
We're not going anywhere.
No.
And we want people to just come and experience what we're doing. That's
Sure.
all. We don't
Richard,
want
can I just say this before we go?
Absolutely.
People need to know the story. They've got to experience Richard Myles Sr.
Yeah,
In
man.
3 months, he made me a general manager. 3
Yeah.
months later, he's made me an owner.
Okay.
How many blacks can say that? That's a story within itself. And I did that by asking him, just what do you do, sir? He said, you're sleeping on me. Guess what? I'm awake now. And it's a pleasure and an honor to work with you all, but especially Richard Myles Sr.
Okay.
I really appreciate that, Pat. And after 2 Super Bowls, we've seen each other. The guys just class act like yourself, Charles. But I want to thank you, gentlemen, for being on.
Thank you.
You've been listening to another edition of Inside the MFL. I'm your host, Richard Myles. And to Charles Olawole,
Yes.
Pat Freeman,
Thank
I
you.
want to
Thank you.
thank y'all. And I'll see y'all next week. Thank
Okay.
y'all for joining us.
Thank you very much. All right.
Take care now.
Okay. All right. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Take care.